Nigeria possesses all the key factors for real estate investment: a growing middle-class population, growth in consumption, rapid urbanization, and a young demographic compared to more matured economies. Yet the sector is faced with high interest rates, environmental, and increase in cost of building materials driven by high inflation. Well, no, I'm not doing this alone, like I said earlier. And joining me is live in the studio. He is the founder, chief executive officer of Rebar Perfecta. I hope I got that correctly. Yes, Mr. Gbenga Adigun. Thank you so much. It's good to have you in the studio.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yes, I'd like us to start with economic issues. Yes, because it's affecting all facets of the economy. Yes, of course, resultant in rising materials, and some believe that real estate practitioners might want to be cutting corners in some cases. Now, do you believe that we can still have affordable and safe housing in Nigeria and for middle and low-income earners, considering the situation on ground?
Yes, the answer is a loud, resounding yes. Yes, because all we need is a combination of policy intervention, financial mechanisms, and collaborative and co-creative efforts between the government and the private sector. So there are many ways they can do this. I'll just go straight to the point and give you examples.
Okay.
Affordable housing can be done very easily. For example, you can look at tax incentives. The real estate developers, can you get these guys to build, operate, and run a housing scheme that will be very affordable, and give these guys tax breaks, tax holidays, other tax incentives for a long period of time? This will bring down the cost or the burden of setting up these kind of mass housing schemes that we need. Go back to the 70s when we had the likes of Festac, when we had the likes of Gowon Estate.
I lived this. I live in Satellite Town, and then I heard the government provide for staffs that are more than a number, and they had estates and quarters for them. We don't have stuff like that anymore.
Exactly. So we need hundreds, if not thousands, of Festacs, Gowon Estates, and all these places, Satellite Town, to make housing affordable and cheaper. I heard at the time, people just like threw in a bid, and they will tell you won the house.
Yes.
And you pay over time, and it became yours. Yes. We could do that. We could do so many things. Right now, we're having serious conversations about what should happen with the pensions that people are paying. People have worked 10, 20 years. They've racked up huge savings in their pension account, 20 million, 30 million, 40 million, 50 million. Can a portion or a component of that sum be put down as a guarantee for the upfront payments for affording a house? Because these monies are already safe with the pension houses. And it's a highly regulated industry. So the money is largely saved in government securities. If I have saved up 50 million after working 15, 20 years, can I just take 20% as a down payment for a mortgage, and I'll keep servicing the mortgage? There are many things they can do. The government can do things like, old areas where you have abandoned buildings. If they are still structurally sound, can you bring them to look at it and, refurbish and renovate them and, put people in there? There's too many things, too numerous to recount. I can't just start going on. But yes, affordable housing is very possible. With the intentionality, the government just needs the right combination, as I said before, of, friendly policies, and financial mechanisms, ways to fund it, because that's a key component.
Yeah, it is.
Then another big thing is collaboration between the private and the government and the private sector.
I want to stay on that because we still need to ensure quality is not compromised for profit. What do you think about that?
Regulation is simple. Here, a lot of people parade themselves as building engineers.
True.
Because they are supervising a project. It is different. Everybody should be regulated. Before a building goes up, you have to get the right necessary permits. Before anything is done, from foundation level to when you start going floor by floor, you need some level of certification.
Yes.
That this building is structurally sound. Yes. That you are doing what you're supposed to be doing in that area. Is it approved for residential development, mixed development, or commercial real estate? That is what should be followed. Are you building on a drainage? What is the environmental impact assessment, transportation impact assessment on the project you're trying to do? All these things should be done. So with the right regulation in place and the intentionality, sincerity of purpose, yes, we can do these things.
Because I've had opportunity to talk to real estate operators like you, a lot of them, and I always like to ask that question: that what makes you stand out? What makes you think you're doing something that some other person is not doing? That they think that yes, you are really on the right track. What's that thing?
It's just doing the right things. Over and out. Nothing more to say. The government says, do this, get this permit before you do this. Do it. Pay your taxes. Do things the right way. The lay down procedure, you follow it. And then, of course, most importantly, is the quality in service delivery. You use the right set of materials to build. You don't cut corners. You employ professionals. You don't think, because you've been doing this for some time, you now think you can run it on your own. No. You keep employing and keep paying those professionals. And those professionals are not cheap. They're expensive. But yes, at the end of the day, you want to be happy that you erected a structure 50, 80, 100 years down the line is still standing there very nicely. So yes.
Because I'm saying that some also say that they have issues navigating through these regulatory agencies to meet deadlines and excellence in output. So is government, or do you think government needs to do something that will make it seamless, easy? Once I meet requirements, I should be able to be cleared, not wasting my time so I can always meet up, because most of these are runs on sometimes loans and you have to meet up. So what do you think government can also do to support real estate players like you?
Policy intervention. Make it nice, make it easy, make it friendly. Adopt technology. For me, personally, I like to see the applications of blockchain in more ways than cryptocurrency. When people hear blockchain, everything that comes to mind is crypto.
It's crypto.
Nope. That's just one of the 1,000 ways blockchain technology can be applied. You can use blockchain in amazing ways for smart contracts, for title documentation, title transfer, for so many things. If you apply this technology, where if people meet the requirements, there's transparency, there's decentralization. I remember those days when I used to work in the bank. If you as a bank customer wanted to get a loan from the bank and you were using your collateral, your house as a collateral, you would have to take the physical copies of your maybe your CFO, take it to the bank. The bank will now literally take it to lands in Alausa to confirm, is this thing genuine?
That's true.
That process can take many weeks, if not many months. And it has the susceptibility of human error, or even probability of fraud, where people are using same property for multiple loan applications in different banks. So, but with the adoption of blockchain and technology, if you meet these requirements, then this. If this, then this. Things will move faster. That's just one way. Then again, if with the right intentionality to say that we want this thing to work, we want people from the point that they get their building permits to when they deliver, let's assist them while regulating them and ensuring that they do the right thing at every point in time. So it's just that straightforward.
Go ahead.
Yes, because I wanted to say it's a big deal. Real estate is a big deal, and government should pay serious attention to it. The most developed economies in the world have free movement of goods and services and people. These people that will move on roads, infrastructure, rails, seaports, airports. These people would also live in houses, the people with the skills to develop the economy. So it is a big deal. Real estate, it's a forward economic indicator. If you check the developed world, they have reports, new home sales, where houses are built in the tens of millions. If a building permit is given or issued already, it means houses will be built. People will work on those projects. Yes. People will build those houses, jobs will fly. When the houses are bought and sold, a mortgage is sold, people will buy electronics in the house, there will be maintenance. The multiplier effect on the economy is immense. The value chain is super extensive. It cuts across multiple industries. So you cannot not pay attention to real estate. The government has to be more intentional now going forward. We're happy with the little reforms you're seeing. We just talked about what they're trying to do with tax to GDP ratio, and the rest of it. Real estate housing can be a big deal. When you know that your real estate is competitive and good enough, it should not only be your citizens who are buying into your real estate. If you go to countries like the UK, every house is competing from buyers from all over the world, not just UK residents. People in Nigeria are buying. People from the US, from Canada, from everywhere is buying. Even Ghana here, our fellow African country. People from all over, and not just your diaspora. People who don't even live in your country, don't have business, they're just looking for where is a good real estate destination to invest my money. When we get to that point, that's when we've done some serious things.
You mentioned technology. Let's take it up from there. Real estate technology, or prop tech, as it's called, is making noticeable waves in Africa. And I see your smile already. I know what that means. Educate us more what this really is about.
Prop tech is simple. The same way you hear of fintech. Fintech comes with solutions like digitizing what is already existing. What is not working, we'll make it more efficient by using technology. It's just that simple. Same application. the extensive real estate value chain, digitize every component of it or some part of it. So that includes from buying to selling to renting to ownership transfers to listing of property to even construction. So I have a friend, his name is John. He's doing amazing things in that space, Construct. What he does is, from when you want to build, buy gravel, buy sand, buy cement, buy iron rod, buy every single thing, you just go to a platform. It's a marketplace, aggregating buyers to sellers. So that is where it starts from. When the house is built, it is listed on technology platforms where people can see. And then there's the feature of it, using augmented reality, or virtual reality and augmented reality. You can actually inspect a house without leaving your house. You want to buy a house in Banana, you are sitting in Ikeja, you just plug in, put some VR headset, and the agent takes you through the whole place and you're seeing it in 3D. You can almost even reach out to attempt to touch and feel. But you're not in that space. So prop tech is all of these things. How can you digitize and apply technology to make the real estate value chain is extensive, very, very wide, and has a very huge multiplier effect. So pick components of it here and there, from construction to sales to title transfer to the rest of it, and just digitize a component of it, or as much as you can. So prop tech is a big deal. It's taking over the space, and it's a very, very huge opportunity for people who are looking to bring in investments, or people who are looking for where to invest. They can pick a component of that, deepen their capacity and capabilities in that space, and trust me, they will find glory there.
And you believe we have chances of having smooth implementation of this in this part of the world?
Oh yes, why not? It's technology driven. What technology helps you do is to scale. You don't have to be in a physical location to do things anymore. That's what technology does for you. So, and Nigeria is a very huge technology hub, at least talking about the skills. We have the skills here. We have the people who know how to do these things. So it's just to continue to have discussions and see how we can deepen the space.
So how would you explain to someone that wants to get into your kind of business? How do you succeed here in this kind of business? Because many will tell you that you need to have a lot of money before you could become a real estate player.
No. Money may come first or later, but that is not all of it. There's so much more to it. It's more about the knowledge, the enthusiasm. The approach should be you're trying to solve a problem. If you solve the housing problem or the real estate issues we have, you're solving a social problem, you're solving a financial problem, you're solving an infrastructure problem, you're solving many problems. So the people who do what they do are the people who solve problems. The money comes thereafter. So I can have the knowledge, I can have the passion, I can bring together investors who want to do it. Fortunately, the real estate space, developers in that space enjoy something in accounting called spontaneous financing. People even pay you. They say off plan. Yeah. They pay you ahead before they take delivery of the house. That is almost free capital that you're paying zero interest on. So, but again, they need to trust you before they give you their money. So in getting it right, you must make sure that you're doing everything right. You make sure you can deliver, you have the capacity, you have the capability, you're solving a real problem, and you're being innovative in the way you're going about, doing your real estate business. So yeah, it's open. The Nigerian real estate space has not been scratched. The new home sales, we are building homes at a rate of 7%, very poor. Let me put figures to it. If Nigerians are supposed to be building 1 million homes every year, we are building only 70,000 homes. The deficit is very huge. Unfortunately, also
millions. We keep hearing millions.
Yes,
figures, 25, 28. We don't even know which.
Yes, depending on what statistic you are looking at, the housing deficit is between 25 and 30 million.
Yeah,
and it is very correct. Unfortunately, Nigeria also has one of the lowest home ownership rates in the world, just between 20 and 25%. South Africa here has 70%. So that means just a very few people own a lot of the homes. Now, 20% of the entire real estate value in Nigeria sits in Lagos and Abuja. Yeah. So these are the things that tells you that the space is very huge, it's very robust. A lot of people can still come in and play in it. If we have the right policy interventions, right funding mechanisms, a lot can happen in that space. PPP, partnership between the government and the private sector, is just one way to make this thing explode.
And has that been cordial over the time with your colleagues and all of you?
No.
How cordial has that been?
It has not been. In fact, even cooperation and collaboration between the private sector has to improve. For example, if there's a big expanse of land where serious mass housing can be done, and one developer cannot take it on his own, you're supposed to bring in other developers and do it together. But you see, a lot of us, in the industry want to do it alone. And then nothing gets done. It's better to have 50% of this amount than 100% of zero. So we need to look at those things to grow the economy. It is very important that the real estate space, grows and improves. We need to pay serious attention to it. Because right now, everything is happening at the center. Ikoyi, Lekki, VI. What does the government need to do? Lead with infrastructure. Go somewhere else. From the ends of Badagry to Ekpe. Lead with infrastructure. Do roads, do rails, do social infrastructure, schools, hospitals. And people will naturally go in that direction. But every morning, everybody goes to the center. From mainland to the island. In the evening, they come back. There may be Ikeja, another big business district. You can have many Ikejas, Lekki, VI, Ikoyis, in Badagry, in Ekpe, in everywhere. In Alimosho, in all these places. In Ikorodu. Because Lagos, to me, should not have any rural area anymore.
I agree.
Lagos should not have any, because there are resources that can be tapped. Almost everywhere in Lagos has access to the High Lagoon or the High Sea. That is vast resources. You can decongest Apapa. You can have multiple ports, multiple bonded terminals everywhere, multiple different things that encourages shipping and export. Even agriculture, even in some parts of Lagos, we can do all this. So we have to pay serious attention to how we develop the real estate space.
I'm thinking of the core skill sets we need to scale up in this kind of field. If you're to advise anyone, what sort of core skill sets do we need?
We already have civil engineers. People are studying civil engineering in school, studying urban and regional planning, doing all these things. But at the end of the day, it's capital intensive, and that is why government must lead with infrastructure. We cannot wish that away. If government is not leading with infrastructure, allow the private sector to do it. Give them incentives to do these things. So you can build a road. You won't pay taxes for 10 years. Build a road to where a lot of people are not. A lot of people are not paying attention, in that direction.
That direction, yeah.
Build a road. Build social infrastructure. Build a few things. Do more of mixed development, where you can have private, commercial, recreation in the same spot, so that everybody is not coming to the center every day, which is what is causing a lot of problems and serious impact on the environment and transportation.
Sad. Well, I would say a lot has been said already, but I wanted to ask, you see developers sometimes having issues with clients and all of that, sometimes beyond or within their control, sometimes outside their control. How do you see, merging, or you're merging this, trying to at least address all of these kind of issues? What do you think is the way to address issues like this?
You said something very profound. Sometimes within their control.
Yeah, sometimes not. No,
this morning, I don't know if I should say it on TV, but this morning we heard what the exchange rate is.
Yeah. So I just got a message. That was what I was reading. It's 910. Someone told me 910. I just got that message now. So
imagine if a lot of your development efforts has high import components. You're importing doors. You're importing toiletries. You're importing electronics. You want to build a smart home, you're importing a lot of software and technology. And when you planned out this project in your projection, maybe the USD was at 700. You've already agreed with the client that pay this much. And now you wake up to 910. What do? It will erode all of your profit. You might not even have anything left to complete your project. Sometimes you have to go back and have discussions with them. And that's why the best play is in your legal contract or your legal agreements. It has to be written there very clearly. Don't hide it in any fine print. Tell them, this thing, agreement is 50 MO, but if exchange rate moves here, if diesel touches
that's variation now.
Variation. You must mention it, that yes, you should be ready. And everybody can see it. Everybody can see it. It's not anybody's fault that these things are happening. You cannot be bigger than the economy you're operating in.
I agree with
you. These things would affect you, the macroeconomic indicators, unemployment rate, exchange rate, price of fuel, all these many, many things. It would affect you. So you just have to look for a way to play within the ambit of what the law allows. Have conversations with your clients instead of trying to be this way or that way, and just try and deliver value to the best of your ability.
Let's round up now. What is your outlook despite all these challenges? Maybe what are you thinking of the sector in a matter of maybe a few years or something? What are you thinking?
For me, despite all these challenges, I'm very excited about the future of real estate. Very excited. We'll begin to see things like serious connectivity, Internet of Things, coming to the fore in the real estate space. We're already seeing that with smart homes. You walk in, you give your house a command, play music, turn on the lights, and everything is just flying all over the place. Then we'll be seeing more sustainability, aligned designs in building. How do you build more energy efficient buildings? How do you consume less power? Can you do more of green energy to power your building? How do you do things to reduce the cost of maintenance of your building? If you go to places like Singapore, you see a lot of vertical. Singapore has one of the highest density of skyscrapers in the world. The average housing distance is about 40 floors or more. And they have vertical gardens along the entire stretch of the building. You see things like that, sustainability. You will see more of shared spaces and communal living. People sharing apartments, on a very decent level. A community where you are not just renting a 3-bedroom flat. You want to rent a place where you are staying with the people that, you people have common interests, maybe career or the rest of it. You will see all of that. Then you will see more collaborations, more partnerships, and more integrations. You see maybe work and play in the same location, people living and working in the same location. We see all that. We see a lot of virtual and augmented reality, as I said before, in the extensive real estate value chain. You see more of technology, doing a lot of stuff in that space. So yes, these are the kinds of future that we're expecting in that space. But again, we cannot leapfrog the basics. No matter how technology advances, you need the basics. You need road, you need lights, you need seaports, you need airports, you need schools, you need hospitals. You need basic, infrastructure, social infrastructure to keep things moving. And then if we can do all these things, I keep saying it, the government does not need to give any handouts or subsidies to anybody. The economy will repair itself like a self-healing organism. So we need to pay attention to this space.
Amos, thank you so much for your time, and we hope to have you again join us on the program anytime soon. I've been speaking to the founder and chief executive of Rebar Perfecta. He is Mr. Gbenga Adigun there, giving us insight into what's playing out in the real estate space, technology, and all of that. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time again.